Am I live yet? Oh, please work this time. Is it working? Can anyone hear me? This is when I wait until I know if anybody exists, if anybody's out there listening, because it doesn't actually tell me. The old version used to tell me when people were there, but this version doesn't. So, yep. My hair's a little bit still wet. This is what happens when you spend the whole day editing. I've been working on Abel's fourth book today, all day. Well, all day is what's the word? It's relative because I've got kids, so I'm not really working all day. Yes, you can hear me, or no, you can't see me, or nope, you can hear me. Let's see. Hello, hi Belinda, and hi David. I'm guessing that you can hear me. Yay! So, how are you guys all doing? How's everybody doing? Anything exciting going on in your lives right now? There's nothing really exciting going on here other than there we go. Sorry, I'm so OCD. Other than Raven Huntress is almost done. I have to have it done by Saturday night. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make that because 3 kids. It's been a lot harder this time around getting things done. I mean, you can probably imagine. David says yes, he can see and hear me. I might actually make the kids come in here and hang out with me if you guys don't mind that, just because, I don't know. I get a lot of comments on my kids. Like, I'm grateful people actually like my kids. I like my kids. I mean, I'm a mom. All parents believe their kids are like the best things ever. And I don't believe mine are the best things ever, but I think they're pretty close. Let's see. Belinda says the weather's go 75 here instead of being in the 50s or 60s. It's been chillier here today. It actually snowed last night. It was very, very nice earlier this week and last week. And I've got naturally curly hair, so it's like way frizzy. I usually try to hairspray it to keep it in place, but I didn't have time to do anything with it other than pull it up as soon as I got out of the shower. So just waiting for people to come. David said sure. He said sure. He probably had to forgot to hairspray his hair too, right? After you got out of the shower, David. Just kidding. Let's see. We're going to be talking about Praxis novellas today. That's the second book in the Mosaic Chronicles. And in case you guys didn't know that, I'm pretty sure people know that. Let's see that. I'm looking at my video from last time. I'm going to save it. My video, from last time, I just uploaded it to YouTube, and the thumbnail they picked was absolutely ridiculous. Okay, Maria says, after being quarantined for so long, it's great. You still think your kids are great. It's so true. She speaks truth, everyone. Yeah, Belinda says her hair is so curly that she just lets it air dry. Yeah, my hair is when my hair is shorter, it curls. It's very tight when I'm in very dry climate here, but when I'm in a very wet, humid community, like area, whatever, it's been a long day. My hair will do very, very tight curls, but I'm lucky my hair goes straight really easily and it curls really easily. And so I don't have to, well, that's lucky because I can do it straight really easily and do it curly really easily, but I can't just let it air dry. It just pulls it straight on the top because I've got lots of it. It's very fine and I've got lots of it. So it just goes ugly. I was just going to say, I should show you guys pictures. No, I should not show you guys pictures. So how's the quarantine treating everybody? Are you guys all bored yet? How many of you guys are stuck indoors? How many of you are going insane? I mean, I'm going insane, but our quarantine's been going on since January. So it's been a long time. We've almost full 3 months. You can tell I'm having a problem talking because I'm having a problem talking. Anyway, okay, so if you guys want to get started, let me know. I usually like to leave a few minutes at the beginning for people to get caught in, to come and join us if they are able to. And I think I showed you guys last time. I have all these little things I play with while no, maybe I didn't show you guys. When I'm recording my podcasts on Monday with the other authors, I have all these little things that I play with. Like Nolan got this for me, came in a pack of 2. And so I'll sit and play with them both at the same time. I'm like, working it, my fingers around it at the same time. And then I also have one of these, the fidget spinners. I never really got into them, but it cost us 50 cents. We were at like a store and I was like, yeah, I might as well buy one for everybody. So I got one for me and the kids. And let's see, what else do I have here? I do play with the little screwdriver here. It's really cute. And then, yeah, that's what I play with all the time. It's fun. Hi, Shauna. Belinda says, I'm lucky that I have a backyard patio so I can get out to get fresh air. Plus, we play dance party with my niece to keep up our exercise. That is very good. We've got one road and then it's mountain. We have actually we were on this little tiny alley right here, and then there's 3 houses and 3 houses. Ours is this one, and then right here is a public trail land thingy. So we'll go hike up there. And it's nice. I like it. It's just there's a lot of people who go up there 4-wheeling and they're not always careful, and so we have to be careful. But Katrina, how do you say your name, by the way? Kitria? I have so much to do that I've not had time to get bored. LOL. Biblical Greek, Hebrew, Japanese, college algebra, plus work on my writing as my goal for this year is 1 million words in 2020, but I might bring it down 500,000 instead. Plus my house could use some cleaning, organizing, dusting. Yeah. How many of us are avoiding that? Hey, I'm avoiding it legitimately, Kitria. Okay, Kitria. I'm avoiding it because I actually have this book deadline. I'm supposed to get it to Tristy, my editor, on Saturday, and I don't. Yeah, it's going to be interesting because I'm still on just the first revision of the book. So, yeah. Have your kids heard the pancake robot? I don't know, Belinda. I'm afraid to know. So this part here, I got to tell you guys a story. I don't know if you can see that. It's a little bit red right here. That happens all the time. Right here is a bump in my skull. And if my mom's watching, she'll remember when I was, let's see, was I 7? I think I was 9. When I was 9 years old, my friends and I were running on the bleachers next to a park, and I got to the end of the bleachers and my foot hooked on one of the metal pipes that connects them, and I went slamming over and landed on the cement, like on my forehead. And the bump in the bone never went away. I mean, it was like an egg, and I had somebody take me to the hospital. A neighbor took me to the hospital. I don't remember. I think my parents were out of town or something. I'm third oldest. There was plenty of us to be able to be responsible, but me and my friend were out playing. Anyway, yeah, so I've got a bump in my forehead. And so when I shower, like when I'm washing my face and my hair, I bump into it. I'm boring you guys. Let's get started. I just realized I've been talking. Okay. Yeah. If it has anything to do with the Baby Shark song, we're not even going to go there. Okay. So let's get talking about these. First question for you guys, for you to answer is number 1. Which of the novellas did you like the best? Did you like, The Focus best? That's the one where Nicole goes to Ohio. Or did you like The Manor? That's the one with Austin and the Manor. And then The Angel is the one with Lizzie and the statue. So which one did you like the best? My mom said she thought I landed on the asphalt. I didn't. I landed on cement. I was with one of the Sabashi girls, Karen, I think, and I went flying over and landed on cement on the side of the bleacher. Anyway, so which of those was your favorite? The Focus, The Angel, or The Manor? And go ahead and tell me why. I want to hear why. So I need to have like a Jeopardy. Let's see if I can find a Jeopardy. No, I'm not going to do that. Jeopardy song. Dee, 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 dee. Yeah, so go ahead and let me know, yeah, what you think. Hi, Wanda. Okay, Maria says Ohio. David says Lizzie. And my favorite, and Shauna says Lizzie. My favorite one is Austin's, the Manor. So that's awesome. That's good. We got somebody who likes all of them. Anybody else want to weigh in? And you guys go ahead and tell me, I mean, if there's a reason why you like one of them better. Davis says, Lizzie and the statue. I like the statue story. Yeah, Helen. She ended up being, this is one thing about the novellas. I'll just say that right now. I was going to talk about it later. There are characters in the novellas that I just really, really liked. So like Helen, the statue, one of my favorite characters in my series. And same with Elizabeth from the Manor. You guys remember Elizabeth? She's the I'm not going to spoil. How many of you guys have not read it? If you have not read the novellas, comment so I don't give spoilers. Um, let's see. Wanda said it was kind of creepy, and I liked that. I agree. Um, Shauna says very intriguing. Maria said the tie-in with her cello was good. Kitria says the manner because it kept me wanting to know more. See, I knew somebody would like it like me. um, so yeah, so Elizabeth is a central character in the manor, and when I was writing those novellas, I really liked the characters so much. I was like, I don't want to just leave them and not ever use them again. And it would, which that's a problem I have. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I like reusing characters because when I create them, they become my friends, and I don't. I feel like I have to explore their stories more, and so a lot of them have ended up in their own series, or like Coolidge, who's been in 4 series now. I mean, they just I just enjoy their histories enough too, and then I haven't fully explored them, like I said, so I just put them in more. And so like Helen and Elizabeth, in the focus, let's see, Professor Nielsen, who, by the way, is named after a good friend of mine in Vegas who is also a professor, Stephen Nielsen. And let's see. My mom said she liked the cello one. That's because my mom plays the cello. Belinda says, I like them all because the characters are intriguing and I really like the statue. Me too. Let's see. What else was I going to say? Okay, so the focus, you guys, if you know, you probably already know where like a lot of my inspiration came from. Like I said last time, H.P. Lovecraft, and in this case, M.R. James. So the focus is a light retelling of H.P. Lovecraft's story, The Music of Eric Zahn. And that's about a violinist who goes to a different city, and like it's all crooked and the buildings are falling apart and there's a whole bunch of people that are really kind of creepy, and he's like, um yeah, so there's somebody who plays the violin in the apartment building and he becomes obsessed with it, and then what happens is the violinist is trying to keep the monsters at bay. And so the version by HP Lovecraft was not, I mean, the ending, I took it, okay, so it ended at the window, the window in there where the drapes open and there's monsters. It actually, the main character goes and looks out the window and it's blackness and there's nothing there, and he loses his mind, kind of. So he goes insane because at the blackness. And I was like, well, that's kind of cool for the early 1900s, which was when that story is written, and it's, public domain and all that. I'm like, I'm going to make it a little bit more, put a little bit more to it. And so I added, the monsters, and I ended up, you guys know, I've gone back through that link to the other dimension multiple times, and we've explored the monsters that exist there, and I've had a lot of fun with that. The Angel is Lizzie's story. That one's based on M.R. James' story. Oh come my, no, let's see. Oh, whistle and I'll come, my lad, or something like that. Let me actually Google that really fast. Called "Oh Whistle and I'll Come to You, My Lad." I think my title's a little bit shorter. So, um, let's see. David says there was a Night Gallery episode based on the same story. Yeah, there's tons. H.P. Lovecraft is quite popular. Okay, so M.R. James, whistle and I'll come to you, my lad, is what The Angel is based on. But it's at a beach, and this guy's on vacation, and the statue does come alive. He blows on the whistle and the statue comes alive. And of course I changed like 75%. I changed about 75% of all of these, 80% to 90% even. In some cases I just took the bear idea and was like, I'm gonna really go to town with this. And then the manor is based on a story by M.R. James called The Mezzotint. And that one, oh my gosh, that story has it just, I still get the creeps every time I read it. I don't know why, but I talked about this last time. Ghost stories kind of, I mean, I get really creeped out easily by them. And so I go light on mine just because I'm not huge into ghost stories and things like that kind of horror. But the Mezzotint was just the perfect level for me. Just really, it made me, just gave me chills. I loved it. So yeah, so that's where those ones came from. And I don't know if you guys know the backstory from me writing them. After I finished writing the Chronicles, Klenya series is what they were called back then. And let's see, I need a new question for you guys. What's a good question for you? Let's see, I should have come up with questions ahead of time. Okay, let's see. Favorite location for one of these stories so far. Lizzie's is set in by Mount Olympus in Washington in the Olympic National Rainforest, basically. So that's where that one's set. And then Nicole's is set on that creepy street in Ohio. And then the the manor is set in basically Seattle, like an urban neighborhood in Seattle. Maybe not even urban. It's there's mansions and manors on that street. So go ahead and think about that. And if you guys have any questions or anything you guys want me to talk about when it comes to these novellas, also let me know about that. And in the meantime, so let's see. I'm trying to think about where I wanted to go with that. Okay, so I wrote Discern in 2014 / beginning of 2013. I started writing it in 2014, and I'd spent several years working on the Klenya series. So Key of Klenya I wrote in 2008, and I didn't get that one published until 2011. And so I spent a long time in that series. So from 2008 all the way through 2014, which is relative. Everything's relative when you're older than me and you're like, that's not a long time. But it felt like a long time to me. And it was my first series, and it was the first time I'd really finish something that long. I mean, those books are a lot longer than most of my books because I didn't have kids back then. And I had more time to spend on each story. And also I have found that I prefer shorter stories. I enjoy reading them, and I enjoy writing them. Anyway, sorry, I keep going off on tangents. There's tons of white rabbits all around me. Anyway, so I was hesitant to start writing a new series because I didn't know these characters. I knew that I wanted to have Nicole, and I knew about Austin. I knew Lizzie, and of course, Mr. Coolidge, Professor Coolidge, but I didn't know anything about them, and I didn't even know where to start. But yeah. So what I ended up doing was I knew I wanted to take some of Lovecraft stories and rewrite them, and then I wanted them to be geared to teenage girls and put romance in them. But hold on. But I wasn't comfortable just delving into a full-length book right away. It just made me really, really uncomfortable. And so I didn't. So what I did instead was I took a bunch of the short stories, and I wrote one from each of the characters' point of view because I wanted to explore their personalities and just see how they acted first before I before I committed to a full-length book. I knew I wanted to write Discern, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't comfortable basically transitioning from the Klenya Chronicles into the Mosaic Chronicles. And so I wrote the short stories first. And the problem with that is, like what I mentioned earlier, is I really, really fell in love with those characters, and I loved writing about them, absolutely loved them. And not just like Lizzie, Nicole, and Austin, but like I said, Elizabeth, and who else was there? Professor Nielsen, and who was the other one? Anna Morse. You guys know Anna Morse is named after an ancestor of mine. Let's see. Who was the other one? Elizabeth. Oh, Helen. Yes, Helen. And so that was the problem with them, was it was really hard for me to it was really hard for me to say goodbye to them. I wrote those short stories, and I realized I wanted to use them again. But the problem was I'd already given them introductions in the novellas. And so in order for them to work in the full length, in the actual series itself, I had to make those novellas be part of the series. And that was never my intention. They were supposed to just be side stories. But the problem, like I said, is I wanted to go back to those characters. And so I ended up having, at the recommendation of a bunch of readers, I ended up taking Praxis novellas, taking all three of them, making them into a box set, and then making that book 2 in the Mosaic Chronicles. Perceive was originally book 1 or book 2, but Praxis novellas became book 2. And in the beginning, I had a hard time. Some people don't like short stories. I personally don't really enjoy short stories. I like novels. But I do. I like my husband Nolan's gotten me into a whole bunch of short stories and things like that, and I do enjoy them. But I more prefer full length stories. And so And so I had a lot of readers who feel the same. And so they've struggled with reading that. And so instead of making people read that, I say, you don't have to read this. I've got notes all over in them there now. I'm like, you don't have to read this. You can go ahead and read the rest of the series. And if anything doesn't make sense, then go back. It's probably in the novellas. And I've heard that that's actually been working well for people. Okay, let's see. Okay, so Wanda says she lives in Washington, so she liked them. Yes, Washington is beautiful. Um, Western Washington is beautiful. Eastern Washington is like Utah but without mountains. I can say that because I have family in Eastern Washington. I love Utah because we have mountains, and I do like the desert, but I'd have to say the desert here is prettier than the desert up there. That's Western Washington's gorgeous though. Ketria says, I always loved Seattle and wanted to visit. My favorite location that isn't in your books is one almost anywhere. England to Israel, but thanks for putting Seattle in your book. England is actually, I have a couple books that take place in England. I don't have any that take place in Israel. Shauna says that's all beautiful scenery. Agreed. Ohio. I actually wrote a story that took place in Ohio before going to Ohio. My husband has family out there. And when I went out there, I just fell in love with those little towns. They're so quaint and so cute. Let's see. Belinda says, I actually have 2 signed Discern copies. Oh, that's right. You've won a couple copy giveaways, haven't you? Those will be worth billions someday, I promise. Oh, speaking of which, guys, you know how we're doing audiobooks for Discern? It's going. The narrator sent me the long, what is the word? It's like the long form sample where I listen to it, and if I don't like how she's interpreting things, I have her re-record. It was amazing. Oh my gosh! Like she got it. She got the characters perfectly, and so she starts at the beginning of the book, and where it ended is right after Judith Ann puts all the the magical items in order, and then right before Austen does, and that's my favorite part of the book is when Austen does it. But anyway, so just like made me excited for her to finish the story. But I approved it, and I'm super excited, and I can't wait for that to come out. It's going to be so awesome. Let's see. Ketria says, I love long stories. I will even read series one long book when I can. You have a better attention span than I like long books, but if they're, I mean, I'm sorry, I like Brandon Sanderson's books, but I will not go out of my way to read them because, I mean, Elantris was my favorite book of his, and it took me weeks to read. And I mean, they're like 5 of my books, 10 of my books in one. Kind of almost not even kidding. Let's see. Shauna says you have a very creative imagination, and that really grabs the reader on my end. Yay, that's good to know. And Wanda says, I figured you lived in the western part of the state. That, I mean, is the beautiful part of the state. No offense to my family who lives in the eastern part. They don't, I mean, it has its beauty, right? And actually, have any of you guys read any of the Mercy Thompson books? What are they? Mercy Thompson. Is there another name? I think it's just Mercy Thompson. I can't remember if there's a series name. Mercy Thompson, I'm sure. Anyway, those take place in Eastern Washington in the Tri-Cities area, which I've been to a bajillion times. And so, it's kind of fun to read those books and then go there and be like, hey, this is where the Mercy Thompson books take place. Anyway, let's see if there's anything else to talk about. I can't remember. I didn't take notes or anything. I'm just going over my notes from the novellas. Oh, yes, so I've told you. I've told you that I based Austen off of Nolan, my husband. I've based so many so many of my characters off of him. A lot of them are just little bits of him in one. Little bits of him into a new character. Like Abel has a lot of Nolan's characteristics, and Austen has a lot of Nolan's characteristics. Jacob does not. I created Jacob before I met Nolan. Let's see. Okay. I think that's pretty much it for this time. I wanted to keep these between 15 and 20 minutes, and we are at 23 minutes right now. So I'm trying to see, do you guys want me to bring my kids up here to say hi? Comment and let me know if you want me to bring my kids in, and I will run and grab them. So go ahead and comment. And my mom will probably say she wants to see them. Comment below if you want me to go get my chillins. And if this is still going, because I can't ever tell if it's still going. And the comments take a while to get to me. So if you've already sent them, posted them, and I haven't seen them yet, then I apologize because, Let's see. Yeah, okay, let's see. Wanda says, sure. And Shauna says, I'm excited for your audiobook. Oh my goodness, me too. And David wants to know if I've seen a whole bunch of stuff. And the answer is probably going to be no for all of them. Howard Lovecraft, nope. 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 Maria says, sure. Kitria says, yes. My mom says, mom, do you want to see the kids? She's under 100%. And Shauna says, yes, 100% quarantine. Okay. I don't want you guys watching me walk out of the room. So actually, that's not going to work. You're going to watch me walk out of the room. That's awkward. Okay. All right. I will be back. Don't watch. Hey guys, you guys want to come say hi to my readers really fast? Okay, they want to say hi and bring Heinrich. Hurry, 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 hurry. Emmerich, come on. They're waiting. All right, Emma, let me see your hair. Okay, hold on. Okay, come on, Emmerich, come on. Oh, Emmerich's slow. No names. Here we go. He's in his pajamas already.
Hi. Hi.
Here, hold on a second. Let me see if I can get the camera to look down. Oh, no, we don't play the mic. You okay, buddy?
Ow.
Okay, guys, there we go. Come closer.
Hi.
You got to do your hair. We did not do hair today. He and baby Eli wants to play with the microphone. Can you say hi? What's your name? Ari, come here. They're gonna be like, the kids don't go by their nicknames in person, so he doesn't know his name is Ari. Can you say Ari? Say Ari. Ari. And this is Ivy. Can you say hi?
Hi.
And she's got the front tooth is gonna be coming out soon, huh? And then here's baby Eli. And David says hi. And Wanda says, yesterday I went to Amazon and purchased some of your books that I already had. Got to support our favorite writer. Yay, thank you. Speaking of which, my books are still discounted. So if you guys, you're thirsty here, you can drink out of this if you want to. And it's dinner time. So dude, go throw that away. Don't show me that. He's got gum in his mouth. Anyway, so I am running promotions right now. So those of you who are watching the video at this very moment, is that too high? My books are, as many of them as I could make free are free, and as many of them as I could there as many of them are at 99 cents as possible. Some of them have gone up in price. Are you waving to people? Huh? Say hi.
Hi.
Grandma says hugs, and Shauna says hello, kids. You look great. Oh, nope.
No microphone. Arthur Fitzgerald.
Kitria says, I was thinking that those who can afford to do so buy the paperbacks and then donate them to thrift stores when they open. That would be a really good idea if people are interested in doing that. Maria says, so cute, all of them. Okay, so let's go ahead and end this now. I need to get the kids ready for bed. Okay. Hey, baby. Can you look right here and say bye-bye? Bye-bye. It's not focusing on his face very well.
Bye-bye.
He's so freaking tiny. This little kid is still wearing size 6-month clothes sometimes. And he's over a year compared to her right here. She was like 6 inches taller than he is right now. Okay, don't bounce on the desk, okay? Okay, guys, let's say goodbye now. Microphones have lots of vitamins. They do. Say, everybody say bye.
See you later, alligators.
She does have artist fingers. Man alive, this girl. She loves drawing. She draws a book and writes a book almost every day. Okay, so this right here, these little chillins are the reason I'm not nearly as productive as I used to be. Yeah, is that fun? You want to say hi? You want to actually talk? Can you say bacon? Say bacon. He doesn't talk on demand. He is the quietest kid we have, except when he's mad or hungry, and then he's very loud. Anyway, all right. So everyone, thank you for humoring me and giving me adult time, even though I'm not talking like it's not a one-on-one conversation. I do know I'm talking to real people though, and it makes a huge difference. So yeah, so thank you for that. And yeah, I will talk to you guys on Monday. We're doing Perceive. So if you want to go refresh your brains on that, if you haven't already, go download it. I think it's 99 cents. It might be $1.99 now. You see what he's doing. He's trying to grab the microphone as hard as he can. See, trying to grab the microphone. Okay, I'll talk to you all later. Okay, bye.